Hello everyone, welcome back to Mephisto Does Guitars. Well, here today I have an interesting little guitar I want to show you. It's a Thomas Ribbecke, made in 1980, handmade guitar. I will put it down here and put this aside. I hope you all can see this. This is a Thomas Ribbecke, made in 1980, shown on the plate. He actually hand signed this thing back then, but Thomas Ribbecke doesn't currently do too many of these, I don't believe. He's gone into doing more arch tops, which he's more renowned for. Very nice guitars, even in his early days. Meticulous eye of detail and materials used: maple, mahogany, walnut, maybe some pedalc. Schaller tuners. Customer brought this in for some repair work because it's not playing very well, and I know why. Because whoever replaced the pots on these previously caused the pots to be cold soldered and they fell apart. Some of this looks like the original. I don't know what this cutaway is really all about. Like there was I'm gonna have to look that up. I haven't been able to find very much information on these guitars. The only information I know about Thomas Ribbecke is his famous renowned archtop guitars. And I can fill you in more information about that later. But he no longer uses, from what I understand, this logo, which is just an R for his name, Ribbecke, back in the day. The only thing I've been able to find is a similar guitar to this, which is a double neck. And that has history. In fact, most of these guitars do have history. Back when people were experimenting with sound and music, this is considered what may be classified in the classification of a hippie sandwich guitar. And same with the other one that I looked at, because it's just a multiple of different nice exotic woods put together in such a fashion to give this guitar its character. Now I do notice there are some things that need to be done. First off, I can tell it needs to be cleaned up. I'm not so sure about this being the actual bridge that he intended to use in here if he had a pocket this deep. And I don't like the way that sits well either, but we'll look at that. That's a wraparound bridge, which was common in those days. And yeah, I'm gonna have to go in on this guitar and check it out. It's really in good condition. Let's just check the neck real quick. Yeah, as expected with these guitars, it has just a little bit of a nice relief here, and then usually at this about right here, there's about 3 frets that, or this guitar kind of sits a little bow right here, and then it kind of concave, so it kind of does this, but nothing drastic. It's when you get up here that you lose it, and then it drops off again. But seriously needs a cleaning though. I'm gonna have to redress these. Looks like good, nice jumbo frets. Now the edge of this, wow, that's sharp edges, and that's common as well. This guitar, from what I understand, hasn't played a whole ton a lot, which is great because there's hardly any fret wear, very minimal fret wear, very minimal fretboard wear. The only thing that I see as a problem is it might need to be a little bit cleaned up on the edges. These are really sharp right here on the edges, only because over time, you know, as the wood acclimates and hasn't been off the West Coast as far as I know, but wood shrinks, and that's what's happened here. So the frets are kind of slightly exposed. The good thing is it's even on both sides, and the frets don't look like they're coming up. And it also doesn't look like I need to take him out. I really would hate to take him out just so I can straighten out this neck. Oh, where's this? Okay. So we got the typical look of a nitrocellulose finish. It's just really in great condition. It's lightly crackled a little bit, and that's only just due to changes in temperature and humidity over time. And back here, looks like there's just a little bit of exposure. I think just a little touch up right there probably wouldn't hurt this guitar as far as cleanup goes. There's some cleanup stuff here. These pots, I am seriously thinking they won't stand up. These aren't doing very well. I'm gonna have to take and clean this up. This guitar's in really good condition, so nothing really I have to do to it a whole lot except take these off. If this switch is still functional, which it feels as if it is. In fact, let's just plug this baby in. Let's see what she does. I know I don't expect her to be in tune. So she still works. See that? Scratchy pots. I could take these out, and if I can clean them, right there. That's where I expect it. Has a little ringy. They feel a little high to me. Beautiful guitar. So, not just yet, folks, but we know what's next. I am going to have to take the pots out. I'm going to have to take the pickups out. Take the strings off, of course, and just totally gut her up. Take these out, clean them up. Not going to do a whole lot of repair work, none that needs to be done. Clean up the frets. Looks like there's some fret work that needs a little bit of fret work done. Clean up the edges, file those down a little bit, make them nice and smooth, make this thing beautifully and playable. He's actually used mother of pearl for the Ribbecke logo. Nice wood there on top. So yeah, that's where we're at on this guitar. For now, I'm gonna let it sit and acclimate for a while. Let it, because you know, it's in the shop and I need to see how it's gonna respond. So having it now sitting where it's at, let's check to see the string height on these. This looks really super high. So at the 12th, yeah, that's pretty high. Anyway, let's check it at the 12th. 65 at least. No, we're topping 70. So it could come down at 10, 15 thou. So I'm gonna have to write this in. So I can also measure it. I like to write it all in. Okay, we got at the 12, 6, 3, we had 65 to 70. On the low E, it looks like, whoa, almost 80. Yeah, that's really high. I wonder if it's not whole tune way at this end. Yeah, it's coming in around 75, 80. So that's more than I wanted. Up here, I don't think it's so bad. Let's check it over here. I'm looking at less than 10. No, it's at least 15, which is actually not too bad. Yeah. This one's actually pretty good. I'm getting at least 9 out of that. So, yeah. And then let's check the relief. Wow, there's a lot of relief in this. Yeah, there's a little bit of relief. If I do it, extend it back here, I've got a whole lot of mixing going on. Okay, so there is some, wow, that's high, man. Look how high that is. That needs to come down somehow. I gotta figure out what the deal is with this. But it's doing the same thing. It's pretty high. So we know it plays, so let's back these strings off. Looks like the strings need a little, or I should say the tuning keys need a little bit of cleaning too. This one's, I don't know if it's bent in there or if it's having a little rough time turning. What's going on with that one? Looks like these strings have been in there for quite some time. I don't like to save the strings. They're hazardous sometimes. Alright, taking this, loosen this up a little bit so we can get this out of here. I'm gonna get two different metals on here, but it looks pretty much the same. That's what I wanted to see. So this may be the original bridge, because back in the 80s, this is the bridge that the company was making, which was German made, excuse me. This one's the actual German made by Leo Kwan. Yep, Leo Kwan. A Leo Kwan badass. Original, made in Germany. Possibly 1980. Look at that. This thing needs to be cleaned. Strange to see this cutaway though. It is. Kind of strange. So it needs to be cleaned. Frets. Start taking this thing apart. Yeah, looks like I'm gonna have to cut this out. Got a capacitor here. Let's see, which one is this? 20. I think it's 22. That's typical. Oh man, well that didn't take much. That came right out of there. Okay. Yeah, whoever did the soldering on this did a very, yeah, it's nasty. Cold solder. Now I can take these out. Cool. Just kind of do a light little jog. None of it looks like it's stuck. And these could remove. Okay, now I'm looking at something different here. This foil looks like an afterthought now that I think about it. It's not poorly done, but it works. All right. And that looks like it's removable and held on by a pressure. Maybe by this here plate. Truss rod covered plate. And the different screws. Oh wow, interesting. unless it gets in my way. And it doesn't seem to be posing as a problem. I'm gonna just not mess with that. Some tear out right there. Okay. Which one was it? Not much of the finish is coming off. Let's get it. Do a little bit repair finish on that. That way it doesn't, I mean, it's not going to make a big deal if I don't put a little bit of some nitrocellulose on that. Now, she is ready to clean up, and let's check. Let's check this neck out. Wow, looks like it's been altered at one point with spacers. Wow, spacers and glue. Looks like that's got to be redone. Maybe without a spacer this time. Would suggest it was low on the treble side. More meat on this than on the treble side. Wow, you see that? That nut is loose, folks. That thing probably has not been tightened at all. Wow. Lovely, lovely. I'm happy about that. That means that the action on this thing was fair. I won't say great. And it didn't react except up here. So if we could straighten out this neck and then do a light fret job on it, get that flat, we might be able to improve on the intonation of the guitar on this instrument. So let's take a look at what we got here. Wow. Yeah. That's quite impressive. I don't believe I've ever seen a neck actually stay perfectly straight like that. What? That's incredible. This neck is really nice. Even after all these years, it hasn't done much. Holy crap-a-mole. Yeah, it's a little lift right there. But, you know, it's like natural. It's natural. Just some light work on this might just improve it. Take a look at what we got here. Wow, this is incredible. See, this is the kind of quality you get out of handmade guitars, is the longevity and the workmanship is impeccable. Like hardly any work on this thing at all. Right now I'm just getting it like perfectly dead straight on the fret line, and it looks really good. All you gotta do is just do a little cleanup. It's a little high at this end, but I can fix that. Not gonna kill me to have a tiny bit of a lump there, but all right. So I'm just gonna take a look and see where this is at. It's hitting over here quite hard, as I expected. See, it's hitting there. So yeah, it's actually not doing too bad. Just getting a little bit of some high spots out of the way. See, it was rocking much over here. See, that was a high fret. See, and I can tell here and here, but here it's not so good. So that's where it's showing high. Here it's all good. Just slightly out of wacky, but I wouldn't worry about it because it dips down here, which is typical of like an acoustic instrument. Usually you want your frets to kind of draw down, so. But here, typical, a high spot there, and looks like there's a little one there. Yeah, but it doesn't exist there except on this side. So I can see where it actually is doing the job of what I want to do. So let's get back to it. Doesn't take much to kind of clean those up. All I want to do is take the high spot out. Yeah. $1,000 grit sandpaper on this, so it's like really not hardly taking anything off. And God, those frets look nasty. They do need to be cleaned up. You know, I'm almost done here. This is not too bad. I'd take a little bit of this out. It's almost completely where I think she will fly. Yeah, see? Now she ain't rocking no more. She ain't rocking! Okay, and over here I was more concerned with the rocking. There's a slightly still high on that fret, but I mean, gosh darn. Almost got this dialed in. Absolutely perfect! See, look at this. Handmade guitars made by great builders last the test of times. Always. Hey, alright. Boom! That didn't take long at all. Yeah. See that tang right there? That's what's sticking out of the wood, because the wood has shrunk and now these tangs stick out, and it causes these edges in here to be sharp. And so all I'm doing is I'm just kind of filing down that tang edge, which is, if I run my finger over it, you can see it almost like literally shreds my fingernail. So by me going in and taking that out a little bit, which is common in older guitars, I want to take that out a little bit. And make it nice and silky smooth. So it just takes time and patience to do it right. I don't want to have to do more work than I have to as far as the finish goes, which isn't hard. I could just lightly sand that down and bring the finish back, but it's going to be a little bit of abuse on that. I can't help it. Because I'm not sanding the guitar, so, and these all feel nice and so this is where I sanded off those edges. You can see right here how it doesn't stick out as much. And I'm doing pretty good not taking some of the finish out, which is really good. So all you gotta do is lightly polish the area and I'm happy. So on to continuing the project.